917-888-0021 or visit us online at nrgfoam.com for more information. NRG Spray Foam. Building green, living green.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
The program presented or submitted by members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNLY 91.1 FM and its affiliates.
Good morning, and God bless you. It is Monday, and we're having a motivational day here at KNLY 91.1 The Boss. I'm your host, Orlando Daniels, of Today's Entrepreneur, and I am excited to not only begin a fresh week with bringing some of the greatest entrepreneurs and business owners, I believe, that are in Houston and abroad here on today. And today's guest with me is Mr. Dennis Vaughn of Car Doctor Detailing.
Good morning.
Good morning. Tell everybody hello. Tell them who you are just a little bit.
Good morning, Texas. My name is Dennis Vaughn. I own Car Doctor Detailing Services. We are a mobile company, and we step out and we meet you wherever you are, get your vehicle detailed for you, hand wash for you. If you're at the mall or at shopping, we'll meet you there. If you're at work, we'll come out and we'll get you done. If you're at home relaxing, which most people love to do just to relax, and not worrying about stepping out and waiting on their car, but they can wait at home, we'll come to your house and we'll get it done for you.
So you're taking the stress away from, car owners in relations to keeping their car clean, and there are different services that you actually provide. Though we had a couple of pictures to go by the screen, one of the things I want you to be able to do is share with people all that you provide as Car Doctor.
Yes. As you see on the picture there, that particular client, he actually had a flood, and he was trying to figure out how to get the smell out of his car, and he put some powder or something on it and got hard. We truly get into your car and detail every aspect of it. The dash, the door, the carpet. We hand wash your car too. We clay bar it and wax it. A lot of people is catching on to what clay barring is and waxing. So we do a good load.
Dennis, we have, not just the relationship that we've been able to establish in us meeting through BizConnect, but just knowing you in general, being a family man, being an entrepreneur, being from another place, not originally from here.
Yes.
I want you to, expound just a little bit, because I have several people, and you're familiar with them. Sean, there's a car dealer, Sean Moeller.
Yes,
and,
Sean's
Sean's a beast.
He's a beast.
Yeah,
I love him.
Lee Hazelwood.
Yes.
Both. I have great rapport and relationships, and one of the things I've been able to say is in BizConnect, and we're scheduled to hopefully have Nick and Christian on here tomorrow.
Oh, right on.
Waldo, but we're not in competition. We believe in actually complementing one another's business. And I love that, but I want you to tell the listeners and followers just a little bit about what the clay bar. So what clay bar is, basically whenever you get a wash, I think I heard you talking about getting your car washed with dishwasher. That was Lee Hazelwood. He was talking about people washing cars with Dawn or the dish liquid.
And just like Lee, he said I did it. I've done that too. But whenever you get a wash and you wash your car, there's deeper to it. A lot of times, chemicals, because a lot of times we park outside. So we get all these micro stuff that sticks to our car. What it does is it breaks the coat down, the clear coat that sits on top of your paint.
Okay.
So what the clay bar does is it gets up all that nasty stuff that is not supposed to be there in the first place. So when you go to wax it, you're not waxing on anything but the paint. And so your car looks better, it feels better, because prior to clay barring it, you rub your hand on it, you will feel, sometimes you will hear some of that mess that's on there. And so it really helps to protect the paint.
You know, I like talking to people of faith, and just people in general, and I tell anybody to be in this industry or all the industries that I've been in, from hair to, you know, radio and ministry, you have to be a people person. And so, you know, approaching this conversation with you now is a great direction for me, because I know you're a believer.
Yes, sir.
But what inspired you to start doing Car Doctor?
You know, I've gotten a lot of good advice and training from some friend of our, me and my wife's friend, Mike and Eva. They in California, they have their own business, and they've always pushed us to step outside the box. And so I've been in, prior to today, I was in the medical field for about 17 years.
Wow.
And I've always had it in my heart to, man, I want to step out and do something new. And I've seen people around me, even in my household. My mom, when I was a kid, she used to do daycare. She used to do she used to have her own taxi and a whole bunch of stuff that she stepped out on her own. And so just kind of looking around and seeing people winning and being successful. And one day me and my wife said, all right, let's do it. Let's do something. And I've always loved getting into cars, because before I used to take my car to the shop and I wasn't happy. I was one of those guys that wasn't happy. And so I would go home and like, man, I could do this. I could do it on a high level. And one of the things that our company stands for is excellence. We're not perfect, because only Jesus was. But when we step on the scene, we step to do a job in excellence, to the highest that we possibly can. So when we give it back to you, it is in a place of excellence.
You know, when we consider, you know, what God sees in each of us, and you know, there's a scripture in Philippians 2:13 that says that God works His will within us, both to will and to do of His good pleasure. In other words, He puts those dreams, goals, desires, ambitions in us.
Right.
And I've often said this: just because it's a good idea doesn't mean it's a God idea.
Right.
But God ideas are those things that not only makes difference or change, but makes, you know, causes us to be influential. And so in you being, you know, from the medical field, and I'm just thinking about it because you were in the medical field, your business is called Car Doctor.
Right.
So you're literally,
Yes.
you know, using that as the play on from what you used to do to where, you know, to what God has called you to do now. How was the transition, making the adjustments, going from being employed to now being an employer?
That's a very good question. I want to start by saying, first, how I got there. My kids, I started to homeschool them.
Okay.
So about for a year, I was doing it part time, and I was homeschooling my kids and so I got to work on the weekends.
Okay.
And that opened the door. God, that was a God factor. It opened the door for me to go, oh, okay, I got days that I can't be idle, right? The Bible talks about being idle. And so that's how I got to jump in and go, okay, let me test this ground here. Let's see what I can do within the days that I'm not working and I have straight days. And so that really helped me to get into the business.
You know, when you have a support system, one of the things that I admire, especially in knowing you and your wife, and she's a great cheerleader. When I say she's a real support system.
She's the COO
yeah,
right now.
yeah, she's a good support system. And it was good when I first met the two of you, and then how you all have actually been consistent. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people miss. I was talking to one of the barbers at the shop yesterday that where a lot of people fail in business is, one, they don't effectively and honestly communicate. Two, And these are my 4 C's for just doing business and relationships. Effective and honest communication, consistency, compromise, and commitment. The consistency part is, where a lot of people can have one great experience with you.
Right.
And I teach not just our leadership core here, but just in general. There's a difference between a customer and a client.
Right.
And so we want to build those long-term relationships, and all of that is tied to our consistency.
Yeah.
And you already said it, that you all set a standard as far as excellence, and making sure that what you provide, it sets you apart from anyone else.
Right.
How long have you been in car detailing?
This is actually going to be, we're in our 2nd year.
Okay.
November is going to start a new year for us. So we haven't been on the scene that long. But it doesn't matter to us. We're out here to build. We're out here to do what God has called us to do in excellence. And so we take that and we run with it.
I applaud people like you, Sean, Lee. I mean, just anyone that, work outside. I mean, because this Texas heat is just brutal.
You got to have a passion to be outside.
I think whatever you're passionate about or actually called to do, one, your peace will be tied to it.
Right.
And then your passion is what you'll pursue. And so you're actually doing it, but you're also taking it to the next level. You're setting the standard. You're creating not just wealth, but you're building rapport and relationships that are long term, that allow someone else to recommend you to family and friends. Right. Coming from another country, transitioning and coming here, how was that? And getting over from somewhere else, coming here, and then being a business owner in Houston.
Wow, that's a really nice question.
Uh-huh.
When I got here at about 17.
Okay.
So I was a teenager-ish. And the transition was hard because you're leaving family, you're leaving grandmas and cousins and friends, and you're coming to a place that you don't know. But as time progresses, you learn. This is one of the greatest thing about life, is you're always on a learning path. And so after about, I don't know how many years that's been now, I just turned 37.
Yeah.
After about a while, you adjust to where you are. And so I've adjusted to where I'm at, and now from there, now I'm on a whole different path of adjusting to understand business and going into business and the levels of it. And it's amazing. It puts you on fire when you wake up and I am actually doing a business here, and I love it. So it's been an amazing journey from Belize all the way to LA and to Houston, and where God has brought my family, and where he has brought us, even in business up until this point. So
your steps are ordered, and all of our days have been seen and written. But while you were talking, I was thinking he's literally experiencing having that Abrahamic experience where God literally tells him to leave father and mother.
Yes.
And in leaving, we find that God says, "I'll show you." And then also we know that he blesses. And so you're literally walking in not only the favor but the blessings of God, but walking in purpose. And I think a lot of people are still trying to determine their purpose. A lot of people are questioning their overall purpose in life. But when we come into it, we talk about that peace being there. And then also the overall influence. So I want to applaud you and you and your wife as well, and your family, for being so supportive, and those whom you made mention of that has really pushed you to get outside the box. And so I'm going to encourage you to continue to step outside the box, continue to be influential, continue to operate within that grace and the anointing that's on your life, and what the path that God has set you on. But I need you to do something that I think will be not just beneficial to those who are listening, followers, but to your overall business. I need you to give them some Facebook, Instagram, phone number. Give them how they can get in contact with you.
To reach me by phone is 936-697-4900. I am on Facebook as well, Car Doctor Detailing Services. Also at Car Doctor Detailing TX. I just hit us up. We're working on our website. Our website should be up in maybe like 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
And I don't have the website on me, but I'll link it to the Facebook.
Okay. Okay. Listen, if you all need great car service, once again, this is my guest, Dennis Vaughn, who is capable to give you that top-notch quality, excellent service that you're desiring. Also, any information that he does not have out currently, it will be attached to not only my page, Orlando Daniels, but also KNLY 91.1 The Boss. We'll keep you updated, but I want you all to get in contact, continue to support not just the people that comes on this platform, but let's just support in general the community is at large, because we're all in need of just that, just support. So once again, I'm your host. I'm Orlando Daniels. You're watching today's Entrepreneur. Stay tuned, connected to KNLY 91.1 The Boss, and most importantly, you make it a great week.